Good evening and welcome to the NMF podcast in association with beheadclothing.co.uk and a very warm good evening, Tucker from Costa Ruby Tuesdays. How are we doing, pal?
Yeah, I'm right, mate. How are you?
All right, mate, brand new, mate. It's good to have you on, mate. It's good to have you. How are you keeping?
Yeah, all right. Same as everyone else, just trundling along, really.
It's been a bit mental on it, to say the least.
Bit boring.
It's been straight, innit?
Yeah, no, it's
Absolutely.
just itching to get back playing, to be fair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. I mean, obviously, how's COVID impacted on you guys?
It's been a bit of a weird one, to be fair. I mean, we've spent loads of time writing, and we've got loads of new tunes ready, and a pretty mint set list for when gigs kick back off. But it's just been weird not seeing each other. Like our guitarist lives down in Bristol now, and I think it's kind of taken its toll on that side of things. I think he's a bit comfortable down there, so we're uh, we're replacing him.
You just got a wee bit too comfortable in Bristol, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just life in it. But we've got a new guitarist now, so we'll be announcing all that soon, and got mint set list. Everything's looking really positive for the future. To be fair.
Brilliant. I don't know how you can possibly get comfortable in Bristol. I've got to be honest with you, Tuck. I'd rather be up north any day.
Yeah, there's too many mullets down there.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Mullet's just quite a nice way to put it. I would have found other ways, but yeah, well, we'll go with mullets, Tucker. That's all right. So, so Tucker, tell me how your musical journey began.
Um, in terms of with the band,
Yeah, with the band, yeah, and yourself. A bit about yourself and your band.
yeah, well, I think it's a bit of a strange one to be fair. I wasn't really into rock music too much when I was younger. Um, my dad was mad into it, and I sort of think my way of rebelling was to not be into it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just listened to hip hop until I was about 16, and then I had my window open in my bedroom, and someone was playing fucking "Paranoid" by Sabbath across the road, and it was like, Jesus Christ, what is that? So I ran downstairs and going to my dad, I'm like, what's that song? He goes, ding, ding, ding. And he's like, oh, Sabbath. So I started playing guitar when I was about 16, and then went down to London with my girlfriend, and we went to the Saatchi Gallery and watched Exhibitionism, the Rolling Stones exhibition. And at the very end of it, there's this live performance by him playing Satisfaction. And I was like, fucking hell, like, this is what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? So robbed Baird and Barnsey from another band, and then got Matty in. I met him at college, and we've just been grafting ever since, to be fair. But it was kind of weird. A lot of bands start when they're, like 16, 15, and they kind of grow the sound together. We started when we were 18, so we've only just found his feet now, really. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, really? Thing is, you wouldn't have thought that listening to music. It sounds so well constructed and it sounds, well, if I can say, quite mature. You sound like a mature band. If I'm honest, you think you've been around a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been 5 years now. We got rid of our back catalogue after we released Who You're Running From, because we had it was a bit of a strange one finding our feet, really, because I was mad into the Stones when we first started, so everything was a bit more 60s esque, if that makes sense. It's the only way I can describe it. But we've moved on to like a much more alternative rock route now, which is, I think, where it was always headed. But we've really found our sound now, especially with this new material that's going to be coming out at the back end of the year.
Wow, it sounds exciting. I'm guessing the name of the band has Rolling Stones inspiration, maybe?
Yeah, massively. It's a bit of a regret now, but it's kind of.
Why? Why regret? I think it's
I don't
brilliant.
know, man. I love tipping the hat to them. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the whole. It's where it all started for the band, was that exhibition that I went to, and that was where our roots kind of laid, was with the Stones music. But I don't know. It's just, I wish. I mean, it's become a name in of itself now. It represents us rather than them for me, and for our audience as well. But I just don't really want to be associated with anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, obviously, where I come from, Ruby Tuesdays is a curry night, and a bottle of wine. So you can either be associated with Mick Jagger and his crew, or you could be associated with a couple of curries and a couple of drunken Glaswegians and a bottle of wine.
Yeah, both of them sound fucking good to me, mate.
Sounds like a good night, doesn't it?
Yeah, fully.
So listen, guys, what inspired you to get into music? What was your inspiration?
I suppose it really was just seeing that exhibition. I mean, Barnesy, our guitarist, although he's leaving, I mean, it's a bit of a weird one. We've all sort of the band's kind of grown together, and our musical tastes have changed together, and we've learned instruments together. Like when we started out, I'd only been playing guitar for about a year. Baird had only been drumming for about a year or two. Same with Matty on bass. The only one of us that really had like early sort of musical roots was our guitarist Barnesy. I mean, his dad was in the Stiffs. I don't know if you've ever heard of them from Blackburn. They're a punk band back in the 70s.
Yeah, I do know actually them. Yeah, they travelled up to, they done a wee gig in Cumbria way back in '79, I think it was.
Yeah, so Strang he's basically my second dad, really. Strang is Barnes' dad, the guitarist from the Stiffs. So I mean, his musical journey, I guess, started when he was like able to hold a guitar. But I think the rest of us kind of flourished a bit later on.
Well, you wouldn't think it, honestly. I mean, to think that, let's say, your playing experience is quite short, it doesn't come across that way. He's a well adversed, and your music's fantastic, I have to say. I mean, it's proper festival music that, this is it's the kind of music you want to hear at a festival when it's pissing rain, you're in the mud. It's brilliant.
Yeah, appreciate that. Well, we've got that a bit of a punk edge, really, because
Yeah.
all of us bar Barnesy are self-taught, so I don't know what fucking notes I'm playing. I just know it sounds good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I play guitar. That's me all over.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all about, for us especially, it's all about the live experience. I mean, we played Newcastle. It's been a while since we've been able to play, obviously, but last time we played Newcastle, we got a message the day after from some lad going, he said, "Cheers for last night with quality. Sorry I missed the rest of the set. I ended up in A&E. Turns out he fucking broken his knee in the mosh pits. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's about
What
for
a night,
us.
mate. What a night, mate. That's a proper banging night, that.
Exactly, and that's what it's about for us is the live experience, and we're
Yeah.
really working on this set list because I mean, come July, we're all going to be living in the same area again. It's been 3 years since we've ever lived in the same area. I mean, I'm up in Leeds because of I was studying here and I've just been staying here for the last year whilst COVID's happening. Matty, our bassist's been in Nottingham because of uni, he's moving back, and obviously Barnes is down in Bristol. So, I mean, for the entire time we've been a band, we've not really been in the same room together for more than 2 days at a time.
Wow.
Practicing all of that is probably once over every 3 months, I'd say.
Yeah, that's rough. That's hard work. You're in your stripes there. Absolutely. Absolutely in your stripes, putting it together. For those who don't know you or your style of music, shame on them.
Yeah,
How
fuck
would you?
them.
Yeah, exactly. Idiots. They'll soon get a lesson. How would you describe your musical style? I think it's punky rocky, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's especially a blues edge to it. I don't know. I would just categorize it as alternative rock. Yeah, there's elements of punk, alt rock, blues. I mean, the Stones are obviously thrown in there from an early point.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of them. You just gotta listen to it. Do you know what I mean? If you like it, you like it. If you don't, fuck off.
yeah, exactly. It's your music. You know what I mean? It's not forced upon them. They don't have to listen to it. Honestly,
Nah, they
it's
do. We're gonna make them.
get them sat in the room with the eyes pinned out and the ears pinned. You will
Yeah,
listen.
too right. That's how it is. But yeah, no, it's the
Clockwork
attitude,
Orange
but
moment.
it's still quite accessible. Like, I mean, I'm not one of, we don't play fucking indie rock. I'm not about that. I don't like playing up on the 12th fret all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you can
Wearing
tell that.
wearing low Doc Martens and fucking white socks. It's not about that. Do you know what I mean?
There's people listening now going, "Oh, I've got a pair of Doc Martens and a white sock, mate."
Yeah, you fucking get them bin. Do you know what I mean? It's just we're not one of them where it's all about like having a fucking mullet and an haircut and
A
taking
Shane
pictures all the
Meadows.
time. Yeah, it's just it's all about the fucking music, man, and it's I don't know. The songs are angry and they get people going because it's all about the energy, but all of them are really meaningful as well. As soppy as that sounds, like we don't write shit for the sake of it. You know, talking about how your heart's been broken and all that shit. It's about like our experiences and us lives and that.
So what is your creative process? What is the process like in the studio for you guys? I mean, obviously it's difficult enough as it is, but when you get there, what's the process like for laying down a track?
I mean, we've been lucky recently. One of our mates has taken over a studio back in Blackburn. So we've been writing songs in there, and instead of practicing, we've been writing and demoing. So we've nearly got a full demo album together. But it's one of them. One of us, usually me, will come with a riff or a melody, and then we just build on it together. But I don't know. Usually I'd write the backbone of a song, and then we'd all build on it and arrange it. I'd say.
Yeah,
But it's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? We don't think too hard into it. Like, oh, you wrote this, I wrote that. It's like there's some songs where I've written them front to back in terms of like the skeleton of it, but it wouldn't be that song without all the rest of the boys' input, and the rest of the boys playing. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. That's a brilliant way to put it. I'm the same. I mean, I was sitting yesterday playing with my guitar, try to play that "Welcome to the Machine" by Pink Floyd, but I liked the sound of it. So instead of letting it play that, I started writing something else. I thought I like that sound, and that's how I got to where I was getting to, and completely something different. So I get that. It's nice that when it works like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the main protocol with it all essentially is our drummer, Bird. You know how people have yes men.
Yeah.
He's a polar fucking opposite, man. He'd tell you everything. Yeah, honestly.
He's a fuck off.
Yeah, he'd tell you everything shit, but it works because he sifts through the shite to find the gold, and he'll tell you if he don't like something, he'll tell you, and 100% of the time he's right. He'll tell you like, oh no, do it this way. I don't like that because he's got a proper keen ear for what makes a good tune. And if he thinks it's not going to change the world and fucking people are going to like it, then it's not getting past him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Yeah. You need what? Sometimes you need someone like that, you know? Sometimes it's good to have someone just says, no, mate, that's shit.
Yeah,
Especially in today's,
exactly.
especially in today's pop world, this TV pop world, Tucker, where you just want someone just to go, you know what, mate? You shit. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's a bit mad to be fair, but no, yeah, we write our songs together. But if there's something bad doesn't like, you'll know about it because he'll start drumming with fucking one hand and tell you it's shite. Do you know what
Can drummers, you know what, like.
I mean?
Just,
It won't be
Tucker,
it won't
where's
be the band without him. To be fair, he is the glue that sticks it all together.
brilliant, man? That sounds mental. Sounds like a great lad. Where's the most interesting venue you've ever performed,
Hmm.
and why?
Fucking hell, that's a difficult question, man. I mean, there's obviously been plenty of fucking dive like shitholes that we've played in, but I'd say the best experience I've had in terms of humour wise was we played at the Ferret in Preston, which is round our way. It's quite a well known venue, quality
Yeah, I
place.
know
The
the
staff
call.
there are all men, love all of them. And we played a gig there with two other bands. This one was first together. And we were supposed to be main support, and I was mates with this other band who was playing, and there was two of them had beef with each other. These two bands, and our mate's band said, "Would you mind opening?" We think it'd piss them off, and I was like, he's my mate, and I'm like, yeah, go on then, we'll open it. Don't bother me. So it's the same amount of time. So we played us set and got off on that, and then those boys were supposed to have an half an hour slot before the headlining band who they had a bit of beef with. And it got to 30 minutes, they carried on playing. Got to 45 minutes, carried on playing. Got to 50 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Anyway, we go outside. We're outside, me and Barnesy, we're having a cig. And there's windows in door. Do you know what I mean? Those windows in fucking door. And stood having this cig, right? And this fucking mic stand flies past the window. I'm like, what the fuck's going on in there? So open door and a full-on riot has broken out between these two bands, scrapping the fuck out of each other. And the main band, it was like mods versus indie with this. And the main band were these indie lads, and all the parents were there, obviously, because it was like, you know, indie wet. Do you know what I mean? They was all scrapping each other. And I'm like, shit, my amp's on there. There's fucking pints flying everywhere. So I go up to get my amp. And one of the fucking dads of this indie band grabs me. He's like, listen, like, starts on me out. Fucking hell. Obviously, it all got shut down, but it was one of the funniest experiences I've ever had. And we're loaded up gear into the car, and they're still scrapping outside. We're just watching.
I'll tell you what, they're the ones you don't forget about.
Yeah, and there was no one there either. Like, it wasn't a busy gig or anything like that. It was when we first started. It was just entertaining, you know, stoned out your head watching two fucking bands fighting each other like.
Over exuberant indie dads.
Yeah, innit? Jesus fucking Christ. Driving micros down, do you know what I
mean? The Stone Island Brigade.
Oh, tell me about it, fully.
If you could open a show for anyone, who would you like to open for? Who would be great to open for? I mean, past or present?
That's a really good question, man. I'll give you two answers for this.
Yeah.
Personally, I mean, I couldn't speak for the other boys. I know that Baird, our drummer, would love to open for Royal Blood. That'd be his, like, dream. Although he'd love to play St. James's Park down in fucking Newcastle as well. That's what he'd be wanting to do. But I think personally for me, like, right now, I'd love to play with Kid Capici. They're my favourite band at the minute. And it'd be a pleasure to play with them. But if you're talking, you know, someone who's, like, massive, I'd probably say Sabbath, mate.
Yeah, man.
I think that would be like, they're just the Godfathers, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be a mental session and all, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, as long as Ozzy'd stand up with his fucking Zimmer frame, do you know what I mean?
Listen, he wouldn't need to stand up, man. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know if he was standing or sitting, walking or flying anyway. So.
Exactly, but I mean, they've done their farewell tour about 6 times, so you never know. We might be on the 7th one.
Listen, when I'm dead and gone, mate, I'll get to heaven. They'll still be doing that tour.
Exactly.
And I'm in my 50s.
Exactly, but I mean, in terms of like a smaller act, not that they're small by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd love to play with Kid Capici, the lads down from Brighton. I think they're mint, me.
Yeah, I like them. I like their music and all.
Yeah, I mean, I could give you a list. It could go on. Fontaines, DC, the Blinders are great as well. There's loads that are sort of slightly smaller than obviously Sabbath that I'd love to play with.
I mean, I think what it is you want to be alongside someone that your music, that the audience is going to like their music as much as they like your music. You know, it's going to have the same. You know, you're complimenting each other. You know.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
You don't want them there just to be listening to Sabbath. Not that you're going to give a shit because you're there with Sabbath. But you want them, you know, I mean, you still want them to go like, do you know what? That was all right, that.
Yeah, I like that. I'm one of them. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going down to a gig, I want to see the support band because half the time they are better.
Yeah, they are. They want it more, don't they? There's more. You know, sometimes the major acts that are headlining are a little bit too well tuned to themselves and not to their audience.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's a bit daunting sometimes for smaller bands, but yeah, no, there's plenty that I'd love to listen to and go play with, who are slightly smaller than Sabbath, but.
What would be your dream arena or festival? If you could do any arena or any festival and not St. James's Park, it ain't happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're lucky Bear doesn't opt on this call because it just all be about Newcastle. Honestly, I tell you that for nothing. No, I tell you, I'd love to play at Rovers back in Blackburn. I think that'd be a great gig.
Park.
Yeah, exactly, man. It'd just be nice to fill it up, and to be able to play to people who are from where we're from. Yeah,
that'd be amazing. What about a festival? What would be your ideal festival, past, present, or future? And what would be the festival you think? Yeah, that's for us. We want to rock that. See, I see you guys as Isle. I could see you guys at an Isle of Wight festival in the 70s or something, Honestly, I just think you should fit right in. You know,
Yeah, I tell you where I'd love to play is on an introducing stage, but for some reason we haven't been touched by BBC introducing in the entire time we've been a band. So,
oh, that's right. Because when this goes out, I'm going to tag them in it.
uh,
There we go. I'm going to tag. So I'm going to tag BBC Radio Lancashire introducing. I'm going to tag BBC introducing. Full stop. Can't be having that, lads. That's not acceptable.
yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
I'd love to be able to play introducing because obviously you get put forward by your local station, don't you? So it'd be nice if we could get championed by them, but I mean maybe our music just isn't to their taste. It's not for everyone, do you know what I
Not
mean?
acceptable. It's not acceptable. I'm not. It's not acceptable because some music I don't like, but I still have them on the podcast because their music's important for everything. Every person's music is important for the history of music. You know, your music has a part to play. So if they don't like it, then the BBC's. If they were to say, "Oh, it's not a cup of tea," then that would just sum the BBC up, and I don't think they like that. So I think we'll do a little bit of tagging. We'll get that one sorted.
Yeah, nice one, man.
No, it's not acceptable. That BBC has to
Maybe for next tune, they might like the next one.
Good, good. We'll get that sorted. All right, Tucker. I guarantee you. I'll get onto that as soon as I'm finishing this interview.
Nice.
All right, I'll send them your track, mate. You know what I mean? So, have you any plans to tour? And if you have, where can we see you guys?
Doing it's all over a 4-month period. Honestly, it's been a pain booking this tour. For whatever reason, I mean, obviously COVID's affected it all. People wasn't answering their emails. Loads of dates were already booked. Loads of stuff are happening, but we're playing between September and December. We're doing Hull, Leeds, Blackburn, which is nearly sold out now.
Wow.
Newcastle, Bristol, and Liverpool, and then we're doing a secret date at the very end of the tour, but that will not be announced just yet.
Yeah. Wow. You're certainly going to be travelling. You're certainly going to be busy.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man, I would have loved to have played Scotland, but I emailed every cunting fucking venue and no one replied to me. So
typical, isn't it?
Yeah, what can you do?
I'll tell you what it is. The lobby. It's because they're all streaming. Don't forget. I mean, no offense, mate, Tucker. You know, in Scotland they've had the pubs shut for so long and all, and that'll be draining their lives away. So now the pubs are open, there'll nobody be sober up there. There'll just be bodies scattered around the places. There'll be pubs that don't even know if they're open or shut. They'll just be there.
Yeah, it sounds like Blackburn, that, to be fair.
So don't worry. Somewhere along the line, someone's going to answer our phone and go, all right, how's it going? What do you want?
Yeah. Email will be replied to in 6 months.
Oh, emails? Sorry, I don't know about that. I don't know if they're in emails in Glasgow. You know, I got to be in Scotland.
Have they got the internet there yet?
Just throw them a brick. Just chuck them a brick with a letter on it. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, nice one, man.
They'll hoik it back. Guys, have you got any merchandise? And have you got any plans to do some merch? And if you have, let's get the links out now. Let's get people buying your merch.
I think we still do have some out. I think it's the Ruby Tuesdays .tm.stores. We did it with Townsend Music. But if you Google, it's all over our socials. But that was from the Rivers of Gold release last March. Yeah. We've got plans to do some more merch come August, which is when we're going to be releasing the next single. We're not sure which tune yet because we've got quite a few that we like. So we're bringing it down to Gavin Monaghan. I'm not sure how you say his last name. Down at Magic Garden Studios. So we're going to be recording that in July and releasing a new single in August or September.
Wow, looking forward to that. Again, this is a chance for you to thank anyone that's been involved, that's helped you, that you think deserves a little bit of a mention. This is their moment. If somebody like photographers or anything like that, this is your chance to say, look, check these guys out, they've helped us.
Yeah, nice one. We've got Ewan Davies. His called Mannerism, his photography page. He's been with us from pretty much day one, doing our photography. He's quality. And then Damien Lee, who owns the Electric Church Club back in Blackburn, he's always championed us. He's given us a place to rehearse, place to play free of charge. He's proper looked after us. So, I mean, if anyone's a good guy in the music industry, it's him.
Wow, well done. Brilliant, that'll get out. And what's the best advice you've ever had? And from who?
I couldn't tell you who it's from, but I'd say the best advice I've ever had is just concentrate on the music.
Yeah.
Because there's enough bands out there who, I mean, they've got the haircuts and the flared jeans and all that, but do you know what I mean? But the songs are shite. You can have every door open for you in the music industry, but if your music don't live up to scratch, then no one's going to listen to you. So, I mean, that's the piece of advice that I've been given that's really helped us, and that I think could definitely help anyone else who's struggling, is to just concentrate on music, because the rest will come.
Yeah. It's true. It's true that you couldn't get a better saying. Do you guys have any plans to collaborate with anybody?
Not really, man. I'm a bit of a fucking. I'm too much of a control freak to collaborate with anyone.
Yeah.
Like even with our songs, like the boys will bring stuff down, and if I can't be in control of it, then
Yeah.
it's not happening. As selfish as that sounds. No, I
So
don't think we could work with anyone. We can hardly work with each other, man, without cussing each other out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you've got the drummer that tells everyone to fuck off. You that says I don't like any fucker.
oh
Stay
man,
away.
honestly, if you came down to one of our rehearsal sessions, you'd think we fucking hate each other, but it works. Do you know what I mean? That volatility just creates fucking magic.
Like Fleetwood Mac on crack.
Yeah, exactly. It'd help if our drummer didn't come down fucking half cut all the time, but that's how it is.
Who's the joker in the pack? Who's the twat? Who's the one that will write a cock and balls in your head? There's always one intertucker. There's always one guy that, you know, if you've a few too many, that thinks, oh yeah, I'm going to pull this little stunt. You know what I mean? There's always one that'll pull that stunt.
It'd have to be his drummer, Bird. He's just a.
I knew it.
I don't know, man. It's one of them. Like we're all just knobheads. Do you know what I mean? We actually are all just knobheads, but it works because we've been knobheads with each other for 4 years. So.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I can imagine. You know what I mean? Right, I always do this. If you've listened to the podcast, you know, I always give you what's called my guidance or my blessing. Now, this is where you have a chance to confess something. So if you could confess anything, right, given that I will decide if you get forgiven or not, what would you like to confess? And why should I bless this and forgive you?
Oh man, you should have given me some preparation for this.
No.
What should I confess? I don't know, man. I'm a bit of a.
I can't imagine that you're a goody two shoes. I mean, I can imagine you nicking your mum's food and all that, or nicking a wee bottle of vodka out of her cupboard when you were younger.
Well, I mean, everyone does that. You can't judge anyone for that, man.
Replacing it with water.
Yeah, I've been caught out from that a few times when I was younger, to be fair. No, I don't know, man. I couldn't really give you that off the top of my head. If I think of something, I'll message you afterwards and you can fucking text me about it.
I can decide whether forgiveness should be granted. You know what I mean? I mean, we had one guy on, I have to say, he ate his sister loved cookies. He ate the last cookie, but not just that, Tucker. He had the cheek to put a little bit of it back. I mean, how? What the fuck? You know, either eat it. She said, don't eat my cookies. He ate them all and then put the last bit back. You know what I mean?
Who was this?
I can't say his name. He was forgiven and blessed, but you know, I think that's taking the piss, putting it back in. No, I couldn't forgive him for that. There was no forgiveness for that.
Yeah, fairs. I mean, I don't really have anything to spill of any.
I think if you're going to eat someone's cookie, you might as well just eat the whole lot and then blag it.
Yeah, no, I'm too much of a fat bastard to share any of it.
That's me, mate. I'd eat the whole lot.
Own, innit?
That'd be me.
Yeah, fully.
How supportive have family and friends been with you?
Yeah, massively, man. And like, I mean, if they aren't, then they're not your mate, are they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, like our parents. I mean, especially in the early days, came to all our gigs. But then as the music's kind of progressed to be a bit more aggressive, I think it's maybe not really too much for them. I mean, you don't want your mum's fucking arm getting broken, do you? So
no, casually.
So yeah, no, they're all quality and really supportive. But I think the most supportive out of anyone's each other. Do you know what I mean? Like we always push each other to do the best that we can.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that.
But on the surface, it won't really look like we're being that caring to each other because we just be blind and fucking swearing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, how do you see the music industry just now? And if you could change anything, what would you change? Do you think
Um,
it's all right just now, or do you think it's because I have a feeling that a lot of people feel the music industry is taking the piss now a little bit.
yeah, it depends what you're in it for. If you're in it to try and make money, then fucking count your blessings because you need to move on to something else. Do you know what I mean?
Uh,
I don't know. There seems to be a lot of gatekeeping, but we've never really bothered with anything like that. Any of the politics side of things. I do think it's in tatters a little bit, and you're having to pay fucking thousands of pounds for radio plugging because no cunt will listen to your emails. Do you know what I mean?
right. That's
Um,
wrong.
but it's the same with anything, and like people whinge about Spotify, but we've had 200,000 streams on one of our tracks, and we wouldn't have had anywhere near that much exposure without something like Spotify.
Yeah.
So
I
it's a
mean,
bit of a double-edged sword.
yeah. It's a bit like social media. And I mean, next question is going to be: how do you feel social media has impacted on your band? And obviously, is it positive or negative, or is it one of those you take it as it comes?
It's a bit of both, man. It's the same with anything. Like there's positives and negatives. It'd be nice to live in the '70s where you can wear your flares and your long hair and walk into a fucking office and say, "Here's our music," and the record executive will go, "Right, here's £1 million." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you've got to graft at it, and social media is a massive part of the world now, not just the industry. So, I mean, if you're savvy with it and you work at it and you present yourselves in a certain way, then it's going to pay off. I mean, I've got a graphic design degree, and that's what I do full time because I'm self-employed doing it anyway. So I can give the music the treatment that it deserves in terms of visually, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas
Absolutely. Yeah.
that is a massive downfall for a lot of bands is that they've got fucking quality music, but they present themselves as a fresh young band that doesn't really have much experience, and it shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Tucker, what do you do to unwind? You know, when you're finished, you know, having your ruckuses at the studio and all that, and then you finally get your track done. How do you unwind, mate? What's your thing? Where's your go to?
Mate, I never unwind.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, I'm constantly just thinking about the band or my work, or do you know what I mean? I used to smoke until last year. That's how I used to unwind, and now my head just feels like it's gonna pop all the time.
So yeah, you're just band headed.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why it works, is because we live and breathe it, and we care
Yeah.
about it. I mean, I think that's part of the issue with the industry at the minute is there's too many cocks like the Hunter coming and singing about heartbreak and just being ambiguous about what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just churning out the same shite all the time, and it shows, which is why bands like the Blinders or Kid Capiche bringing something fresh and new, and us, I'd like to say, where it's about the music more than anything else. It matters.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I like that. Where do you see yourselves in 5 years? Where do you want to be in about 5 years?
Fucking hell. I don't know. Hopefully, selling a few more records.
Yeah, you seem maybe just the kind of band that take a day, but you've got your feet on the ground, that's for sure. You seem to know how the industry is, how it works, you know, your expectations and what to expect. And obviously, I suppose that's a bit unfair 5 years because we don't know what we're going to do in 3 months' time, to be honest.
Yeah, true. It's one of them. Like a lot of people have gotten where they are because they play into the industry's bullshit, which is fair enough. But we're not like that, man. That I mean, I'll take every opportunity that's given to us, but we don't give up integrity over it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not
Tucker, that's
about
one
to
of the
play the
best
same
lines, mate.
four fucking chords over some shitey fucking lead guitar that's got mad amounts of chorus and reverb over it for the sake of some fucking record sales for some industry cunt. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't interest any of us.
Tucker, that's one of the best lines, mate. That's one of the best responses I've had, mate. That is bang on, mate.
It's just how it is, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, fair play to anyone else. It's just not our thing. Like, I won't judge anyone else for it, but not about that. We're about the music.
No, no, you're not judgmental on it. I get that, and like I said, it's one of the best things I've ever had. Best response I've had to that question. You know, like I say, you're better level-headed. You know the crack. You know what to expect. And I suppose you would say you get out what you put in it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking forward to having the opportunity come July for all of us to actually be able to put the time in, because, I mean, we have put the time in terms of writing and rehearsing and recording as and when we could have. But, I mean, you've seen what we've done without being able to be with each other. We've charted in the vinyl charts. We've got 200,000 streams, all this, like, selling out venues and that. And that's all, like, sporadic rehearsals, sporadic writing, not being with each other. But come July, I think it'll be a different story. So hopefully this year coming's going to be a big one for us.
Yeah, it sounds it. I always ask it: CD, digital, or vinyl?
Vinyl for me.
Yeah, it's expensive though, isn't it? Tucker? It's getting really pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we did Rivers of Gold as a vinyl release before we released it on any digital platforms. And we accompanied it with this magazine, zine, I should call it, rather than a magazine, because it's smaller and less. But it's just like a visual aid so that someone could sit down and actually appreciate the music and take the time to listen to it and to like really delve into the song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, where can you get hold of Rivers of Gold, Tucker? Where can I get it?
Um, on Townsend Music, I think there's still a few copies. But yeah, I mean, I love vinyl, but it's the same as anything. There's pros and cons, as we were saying. Like, it is expensive to buy wax, but I think if you set the time aside to actually listen to the music, and because you've got to load it up and get it out of the sleeve and get the track to the right, do you know what I mean? You're taking the
Yeah,
time to really concentrate on the music, and it's a nice sort of
it's a nice feeling, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. But that's just that side of things. I mean, I do love digital. It's obviously really easily accessible, and it gives smaller artists a lot of opportunity. As much as everyone whinges about, oh, they don't pay you enough, all this shit. It's just the way the industry is now. Like, big artists make the money from merchandise and touring, whereas it used to be the other way around. They make the money from the record sales, and then they tour to promote the record. It's the other way around now.
Yeah,
Which is just how it is. People have to accept that, and if you don't
yeah,
accept it, you're going to get fucking left behind.
yeah. Do you have any? I always kind of. Do you have any strange rituals or kind of like little things you do before you go on stage?
Um, Not really before. No, afterwards, what I usually do is I put my guitar down, and then I'd probably be topless still. I'd walk outside and just sit down by myself and have a cig. But I mean, since I've quit smoking, I'm not sure how that's going to pan out.
Oh, that's not gonna last, mate. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
You know that
Yeah.
first big gig you do, you're going to step out there, mate. It's going to be mind blowing, mate. The emotion of it because it's your first gig back and all that. People are going to go mental for it, and it's going to hit you. And you're just going to after it, you're just going to walk out there, mate, with your beer, tap half, sit down, light that fag up, mate. And you're going to be go.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to the first gig because it's going to be in Hull. At a little venue called Dive. That one's nearly sold out as well, to be fair. It's only like a 60, 70 cap. And that's going to be quality. I love the gigs where it's really intimate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because that way
yeah. You
everyone's
feel it.
fucking smacking into each other and bouncing off the walls. Like,
You get such an atmosphere, don't you? You feel the electricity, don't you? And it chat. Obviously, if they're feeling it, you're feeling it as well because they're responding to you. You're going to respond to them, aren't you?
yeah, exactly. But even when there's not loads of people there, I mean, we played a gig in Manchester, must be like 3 or 4 years ago now, and there must have been 4 people in the crowd that wasn't with us already. And we played the gig like we were playing to 400 people, and every single person that was there, all these people that wandered in, these few people, they came over to the merch bit afterwards. They bought one of every T-shirt we have, one of every CD we had. Do you know what I mean? Because
Brilliant.
it's not about the amount of people there. Obviously, it's banging when it is full, and we're lucky enough to have worked to a point where venues are filling up for us now. But regardless of that, it's like even if there's 10,000 or 10 people there, you're going to give them the same show that you would for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. Well said again. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, it is what it is just now. You know, we've come out of COVID. We're looking to the future. We're hoping that Fat Boy doesn't shut us all down again because it will just destroy the music industry.
Yeah, it's. I'm really surprised there's no underground gigs happening when it all first kicked off. To be fair,
I know the mafia. The mafia was during prohibition, selling alcohol and booze. I mean, who didn't? I can't believe that nobody came up with an idea. Prohibition. Call it the prohibition tour. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The
I mean,
secret. No,
that's
it
the
didn't.
issue though. Social media, everything gets shut down nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it, man. Just secret little venues everywhere, man. Just everybody just getting pure smashed and that. Some the Italian guy running the business. Get you in, man. You want some tickets, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's been interesting to see the reaction that the music industry's had. A lot of artists have thrived during it, and a lot of artists have. I mean, sadly, fucking loads of our mates, bands from back home, and things have changed. You know what I mean? People have left.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is. And like, I mean, the tunes that we're writing now are a direct reaction and result of everything that's happened. I mean, this one that we're writing, I'm hoping will be the next single, but we'll see what the rest of the boys say because I think they might prefer some of the other tunes. But we've written one called "Man of the People," which is all about fucking Boris Johnson and how much of a cunt he is. So I'd love for
I
that
like
to
the
be
sound of that.
single.
Yeah. Well, that'll get played on here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it's. I think it's going to come back with a boom. And I think guitar music's going to come back with a boom, especially in the charts now. Because I think people are sick of hearing fucking Little Mix and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We all like all this corporation pop. You know what I mean? It does my head in.
Yeah, there's too much of that, like fucking listening to Lewis Capaldi and that. Like, what is that? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, what's the best riff you've ever heard? What is there a riff you ever hear and you think, fuck man, that's the best riff ever written?
I think Satisfaction for me. I just think that epitomises the entire rock genre for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them, innit? You know, plus you know it when as soon as you hear it and it kicks in, you know what it is, don't you? That's what makes a good riff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even that heavy, but like it just encapsulates everything about rock that's fucking pure and good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you can use it in some badass movies and all, can you? It's one of them. Yeah, I mean, I can think about me Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I just thought when I heard that, I was thinking, yeah, that's a badass tune.
Yeah, but that's the interesting thing about rock music is it goes hand in hand with art and film and TV. Do you know what I mean?
It
I don't
does,
think
eh?
there's any other genre that really like has such a connection to other creative fields as rock does.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, way back in the 70s, there wasn't a movie made without it. You know, you needed it.
Exactly.
And it's doing it now again. You know, most of your musics don't have a lot of movies now. They don't so much John Williams. It's a good bang track from a good band. You know, that'll sell the movie.
Exactly. I think the industry needs to do rock music justice again. I'd love to do what they did back in '79 in America and take up fucking chart music in a massive
Yeah,
pile and just burn it all.
just smash it.
Yeah, exactly. It
We don't
just
need it anyway.
it needs to change, man,
Of course it does.
and within the industry, it needs less people gatekeeping and more people just enjoying the music for what it is.
Brilliant. So before we go, I always ask this all my guests. So you've done a smashing concert. You just had a proper one of them proper gigs in Las Vegas. You know, it's like a proper do. You're up in your room. You're coming down to meet the rest of the lads. You're all half cut waiting for you, and the elevator stops. Who would you most hate to be trapped with, and why?
From our band,
Anyway, man, just imagine who would be the least person you'd want to be stuck in the elevator with in history, life, anywhere.
fucking hell, that's a big question.
See, for me, it'd be that Matt Hancock. See, if I was stuck in the elevator with that Matt Hancock, I'd start pulling my fucking teeth out myself, honestly. I mean, I'd be like, listen, mate, stop talking to me. You're making me pull my teeth out. And hardly anything. I have to stop. Stop.
Yeah,
I'd be like Bruce
that's
Willis
what
in
you
Die
have
Hard.
to think about, isn't it? It's like who's the most irritating. Because being stuck in a lift with someone, as long as they're not like too chatty and that, you could probably fucking sustain it. But it's just who's the most irritating person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that George Galloway. Oh fuck man, Jesus, fuck man. His voice would give me piles. I'd start turning into Bruce Willis and start trying to find tunnels.
Yeah, fairs. I couldn't, off the top of my head, I'd probably say fucking Lewis Capaldi, mate.
I know Lewis as well.
Just like, I don't know, man. He just tries too hard to be funny and that. I couldn't be arsed being stuck in a lift. I'm such an irritable fucking person. I'm such a cynic. Like, I got stuck in a lift with some cunt like that trying to be funny, dropping him. You know what I mean?
He'd be pissed on Buckfast and all.
Oh yeah, mate. Just oh yeah, someone like that. Someone like that. They don't have to specifically be him, but you've put me on the spot there.
Ah, fucking stick
It's
him
nothing
in it.
personal. I just think he's a cunt.
Oh yeah, he's not used to hearing that. You see, his big Lewis says, "I'm mommy's boy." Yeah.
It's very fucking sad, isn't it?
Fucking brilliant, Tucker. I'll not be getting him on the show, that's for sure.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not my cup of tea either.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens when you get a 5% deal with your fucking record label, isn't it?
It is, mate. It is. Look, Chuck, it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you, mate. You know, I think you're a cracking guy, and I think your music's brilliant. The band's fantastic. It's got a great future. Would you care to introduce your latest single?
Oh, I mean, the most recent one we've had out is Land of the Free, which is out on
Yep.
all streaming platforms, which was talking about everything that was happening in America and over here with the Black Lives Matter movement. Just trying to talk about the politics of it all, do you know what I mean? And how bullshit it is that people still fucking hate each other in this day and age when we should all be directing our hatred towards the fucking big people at the top.
Yeah, hallelujah to that. Right, Chuck, introduce it, mate. Do you want to introduce it? Do you want to say you?
Sorry, mate, my signal went then.
Okay, Tucker, over to you. Introduce the latest single. Fuck it, I'll do it. I'm Dennis Dern. This is the NMF podcast. I've just spoke to Tucker, and this is their latest single. Enjoy the Ruby Tuesdays.